Chapter 2, Sunpaw looked out at the camp entrance, her tail twitching with excitement and with butterflies in her stomach. Well, here it goes, she thought, and took a step outside of the camp, her paws sinking into the soft grass of the forest. She looked up with a smile on her face, exited to go on her adventure. Sunpaw started curiously walking through the forest, looking at pretty trees and bushes with awe. Soon she started trotting, and then running, and then sprinting through the forest, eventually reaching a small river. Sunpaw stopped sprinting at the sight of the river. She started to slowly walk towards it, wanting to see if it was shallow enough to step into. She put her paw into the water. It was very shallow. She smiled as she pulled out her paw from the river, the long, soft fur on her paw now dripping wet. She laid down in the shallow water and started to roll around in it, the relaxingly warm from the summer sun water engulfing her fluffy cream and white fur, making her pelt's tabby pattern barely visible. She laid and relaxed in the water for a bit, thinking of her siblings again. Tigerpaw would have loved this, Sunpaw thought, smiling at the thought of her brother Tigerpaw being there with her. Nightpaw would have probably also liked it, but I don't think Tuxedopaw would. He doesn't like water. Nightpaw would most likely splash water on everyone. Sunpaw thought, laughing to herself while imagining her and her siblings playing together at the river. Sunpaw decided to get out of the water, since he had been laying there for kind of a while now. She stood up and stepped out of the river. She shook the water out of her fur, but it was still slightly wet. She looked around, seeing the large oak trees that were basically everywhere. I know, I'll climb a tree, Sunpaw thought, determined to climb one of the oaks. She ran up to an oak that looked easy to climb and looked at it for a moment before jumping at it and digging her claws into the tree trunk. She climbed up a bit before jumping onto one of the branches. She continued jumping from branch to branch, each one slightly higher than the other, until she was pretty high up in the tree. She sat down on the branch, looking down at the river she was previously relaxing in. She felt a bit tired, so she decided to lay down and rest. I'll just take a quick rest, Sunpaw thought, before promptly falling asleep.